you're going to take an entire market and just get rid of all the drivers. Like, you know, people like me, like, what else are we going to be good for?
This week on Pittsburgh's Action News 4, we have been taking you inside a Pittsburgh company that could be close to changing one of the biggest industries in America. They have created driverless semi-trucks, and before the end of this year, they plan to have them on the roads in Texas running fully autonomously. Now, in our last few stories, we showed you how the tech works, how it was tested right here in Pittsburgh, its safety profile, the government oversight. Today, we want to take a look at the industry impact and what this would mean for those who depend on trucking for their livelihood.
We really have a big footprint. Everyone relies on trucking. You may not know it when you're buying groceries, but they got there because of our industry.
Trucking is a $1 trillion a year industry in America. As COVID brought to the forefront, drivers are essential.
We're moving 73% of the economy. We're 8.5 million strong in trucking, which means we're 1 in 18 jobs in the United States is trucking related, and the top job in 29 states is trucking related.
Chris Spear is president and CEO of the American Trucking Associations, representing drivers in all 50 states at the federal level. He says their industry is staring down a big problem.
The shortage of talent. We have been for some years now running a deficit of drivers and attracting new talent into the industry.
Spears says there's a shortage of about 70,000 drivers right now. In the next decade, that's expected to climb to 1 million.
You are 10 times more likely to die on the job if you drive a truck than you or I or the average American.
Aurora Innovation CEO Chris Urmsom says safety is a big reason there aren't enough workers. Also, time away from home and health outcomes from a sedentary job. That's where autonomous tech could help, taking over some of those long-haul routes, which Spears says are the hardest jobs to fill.
That's partly the toughest segment of our industry to serve because you're away for so long, upwards of 3 weeks on the road. It also pays the highest, but it has, ramifications, time away from home and your family.
Since 2021, Aurora has been running autonomous routes in Texas, logging over 1 million miles so far. The trucks stop at terminals that Aurora built on each end to load and deliver goods for customers. The trucks right now drive autonomously, but with a safety driver on board, ready to take over at any minute. Aurora expects by the end of this year, they will be ready to remove those human drivers. If successful, it would be a slow revolution, starting with only a few dozen trucks. But ultimately, it could change the logistics landscape, shaving days off of delivery times for long hauls. Autonomous drivers, after all, don't need to rest.
And what we see this technology enabling through our partners is for freight to get places more safely, more quickly. That'll allow small farmers to reach further with where they sell their produce. But when it ultimately also helps people move around cities, it'll make that easier and safer as well.
So what is the government going to do for the people that don't have no more work because of AI taking over the truck driver?
Many drivers we spoke with say they're afraid of this taking their jobs.
I want to get a bunch of my guys together and go picket that company because it's going to be a chain reaction. You're going to have other companies coming up and they're going to repeat the technology and it's going to put us out of a job.
The Teamsters are a large trucking union representing tens of thousands of drivers. They sent Pittsburgh's Action News 4 this statement that reads in part, "There should always be a well-trained and properly licensed person in the front seat of a vehicle. No matter what any big tech company says, there isn't a single driverless vehicle on the road today that's anywhere close to operating at the same capacity as a human driver." That's a view the American Trucking Associations wholly disagrees with.
It's an antiquated argument. If you have a shortage of talent, as big as 70,000 drivers short in our industry, you can add as many automated trucks as you want. You're not going to fill that void.
A 2021 report by the Department of Transportation found that autonomous trucking would add billions of dollars into the economy through its secondary benefits like faster transportation without causing mass layoffs. The report concluded that long-haul truck drivers should be able to find employment as short-haul truck drivers. So the issue of layoffs should not be a significant concern when considering the adoption of automation in long-haul trucking.
Do a little bit of tinning is what we call it.
Alexa Phillips is a student at Pittsburgh Technical College. She's enrolled in their Robotics and Autonomous Engineering Technologies program. Aurora helped create that program to make sure there would be a pipeline of workers ready to service their new tech, creating new jobs in the trucking industry.
We are turning to more automation, to more robotics and stuff, and we need the people who actually understand the systems and the circuits and all of the little components that go into these big things.
The first class of students will graduate from that program this spring. Some will go on to work for Aurora.
As we look at new jobs, things like our remote support specialists, or our terminal operators, or our automated vehicle technicians, these are all jobs that didn't exist.
A lot of people say that Pittsburgh's going to be the next Silicon Valley, and I agree, and I think it's already almost there. We have a ton of tech companies, robotics companies moving into our area, and so what we're doing here at PTC with Aurora is we're educating and building the future generation of the next workforce.
Well, this was the final stories in our series looking into Aurora's technology. In the first story, we showed you how the tech works. In the second, we took a dive into the safety of the tech. If you missed any of our stories or you want to re-watch them, we have all of them posted on WTAE.com.